What the fuck is happening?
I'm sorry, $20 for 12 cans of Fresca? Like, I like Fresca, right? Am I willing to pay $20 for 12 cans? That's just under $2 a can. I thought the whole point of going to the grocery store is not paying how much you would pay when you go out to a restaurant, okay? It says dynamic pricing is already happening under our nose. Oh my goodness. I mean, maybe these are just the digital price tags, right? So that it's easier to change the price. Again, easier to change the price means that dynamic pricing will be in effect at some point. I know some of you guys have probably experienced dynamic pricing. I made a whole video on dynamic pricing and it is out of control, even back in 2025. I think it's coming to stores near us soon.
I wanted to buy cook a roast this weekend, but look at the prices. $35, $33. Everything costs too much. You can't afford it.
No, we can't afford $35 for a roast. Like, how much is that supposed to last? Maybe a week? The prices are getting crazy.
4.78 pounds. 2.
It has never once even crossed my mind to actually weigh the meat that I'm buying.
No, that is actually a scam though, right? It said 4+ pounds, and then she rung it up for 2.22 pounds. Are we joking? Like, that is actually fraudulent and a scam. How are we now getting scammed at grocery stores? So I guess for you, to prevent yourself from getting scammed by places that should be ethical, reasonably ethical, go and weigh everything before you buy it, apparently.
I mean, you can literally feel this. You can feel this is almost an ounce light. When is this shit gonna stop with Walmart? We need to create awareness, guys. We need to get this out there. How many items do I have to go in and find for them? There is no quality control here, absolutely nothing. All right, ready for the next Walmart scale fraud product? The Great Value Hickory Smoked Bacon. Do you think that these are gonna weigh 1 pound in the package? I just went through these right here. I picked a few out. Let's go weigh them. Got a 100-gram weight here. Right on, 100 grams. Nothing's touching. 15.5. 15.2. 15.2. 15.3 in the package. 15.5. Let's lay this one all the way across. 15.1. That's almost an ounce under in the package. 14.8 in the package. In the package. Literally feel this. You can feel this is almost an ounce light. There's nothing in here. This is scale fraud. Oh, what do you know? They got one. 0.95. This is why you have to check everything when you come into Walmart.
Oh my goodness, this shows $100 worth of groceries. So it looks like we're maybe in a Trader Joe or an H-E-B, maybe a big grocery store, but there's some fruit there, clementines, some meat. It looks like salmon. I think it says trout actually on the packaging. There's some beef, chicken, turkey. I mean, I guess for all of the meat, that could be good. Frozen meal, but boy, oh boy, is that all supposed to add up to $100? I feel like back before COVID, that would cost maybe like $70, but let me know your thoughts.
So my mom just passed away 2 days ago, and I'm having to go through records in order to get stuff for her death certificate. And if you didn't know this, I'm from Louisiana, I'm from New Orleans, and when Katrina had hit, I think FEMA had asked people to save their receipts in order to receive an reimbursement. So my grandmother, who's a very diligent record keeper, kept her receipts from grocery stores in 2005. So this is from September 2nd, 2005. This is the price of groceries back then. So 1 gallon of orange juice was $1.39. Mayonnaise was $2.59. Hot dog buns were $2.09. A 6-pack of Coke was $1.38. A can of chili was 99 cents. Or, no, I'm sorry. You could get 4 cans of chili for 99 cents. 1 thing of chips, so Lay's, like a big bag, I'm assuming, is $1.67. Instant grits were $2.45. A pack of buns, hamburger buns, was 89 cents. I feel like I'm talking about this like it's the early 1900s, but it's crazy to see how much the pricing of food has gone up since then.
People love to hate on Whole Foods, and I feel like Whole Foods has this reputation of being so overpriced. It's the most expensive grocery store. It's like luxury groceries, when in fact, I find Whole Foods to be very well priced for the quality, the freshness. The produce is always top tier. They have really good meats, fish. With Amazon coming in, their sales with Prime are really, really good. I find them to be competitively priced for the quality. However, I just went to Wegmans and those prices are absolutely insane. Why is no one hating on Wegmans? Why does Wegmans fly under the radar? Wegmans is
because the reason why Wegmans, now I've never lived in a state where there is a Wegmans, so I don't know where that is, but I would compare it probably to a Publix, right? For a Wegmans to be more expensive than a Whole Foods, I used to always joke with my friends and call it, I'm going to whole paycheck, right? Because it would take your whole paycheck. But honestly, I found with her, like, this sounds like a big old ad for going to Whole Foods, but honestly, I'm with her on that, because Whole Foods, especially if you have Prime or know someone with Prime, and then just type in their phone number, the deals are so much better. Also, because I'm kind of lazy and I never really liked to cook before, I would just go to Whole Foods and get this huge tray that they would provide, and I believe it would have vegetables, so like broccoli or asparagus, rice, and then some sort of protein. So if you can get really lucky with like salmon, or they would have butter chicken, some other sort of protein variety. And then this big old tray, right, like the big tinfoil tray, it would cost probably like $30. I thought that was a great deal. So it would last me for a good 4 or 5 days, and it was still relatively pretty healthy meal.
You want some fruit, honey?
Yeah. Let me go sell the car.
That says $40.60 for a cut of fruit. For a variety cut, fruit mix value pack, LOL, of fruit. Now, I was just talking about how Whole Foods isn't taking your whole paycheck. No, that is taking some people's whole paycheck for the day, okay? $40 for fruit that's gonna go bad again in probably, if we're lucky, 3 days. Diabolical.
I know they lying. $13.99 for a goddamn watermelon.
I told my nephew go pick out your favorite juice, but
99.10.
nah, you got water at the crib. Let's go.
This used to be $3 to $4. This is $9.29 for a case of sodas.
And you know what? Good. You know what? Maybe it'll be like get the Americans lean. Get us lean. Make us less fat. We don't need all the sodas anymore. Although I miss Diet Coke like crazy. I really do.
Look at this, $3.29 for a regular damn Hershey's bar. You guys are smoking crack.
No, that is actually a scam. $3.29 for just a regular Hershey bar. I remember when Hershey's bars used to cost, just a regular size one, 78 cents. Now this was back when I was a teenager and I would always go to Target or Walmart and get a candy bar, like the cookies and cream Hershey's candy bar, which was, oh God, 11 years ago. So it was still in the cents range, 78 cents.
Isn't there, right? $25, dude, go.
Even if it was hand dipped, which it most likely is, $25 for those pretzels, diabolical pricing.
Now it's $8.59, but look like what it used to be. It was $7.69, but wait. Before that, $3.79.
$27 for toilet paper.
Okay, so like, why are they keeping the prices? I guess they don't expect anyone to actually go back and check what the prices used to be for the cups of coffee, but it doubled? Also, the tissue paper, this is insane in pricing.
These dumpsters, they're filled with dog beds. They take razor blades to them and cut them so nobody can garbage pick them.
I have a lot of thoughts roaming around in my head here. So first one, throwing away perfectly good merchandise should be a crime. Back in the day, I used to work at Panera. Of course, that's, you know, perishable items versus non-perishable. Obviously, it's a dog bed. It goes bad when you can't really use it anymore. versus food spoiling. They would have people pick up for, you know, churches to come pick up the bakery items at the end of the night, so you're not actually wasting food because it's not going to go bad. So I never threw away bakery items except for when people did not show up for pickup, right? Even then, we, the staff, were able to take home whatever baked goods and then toss the rest. That is one thing I will give to Panera. I don't know if they still do it. I hope they do, because that was actually something brilliant. And people are like, well, it's starchy, you know, bad for you food. Okay, but it's still not being wasted is the whole point. And then cutting up the merchandise, it just, I hate that. Defacing your merchandise, making it unusable. Now, maybe if it was makeup, I would understand, because makeup does have an expiration date, but a dog bed, diabolical.
The ground beef, why is it $30? Who can afford that?
Isn't ground beef? Well, it depends, right, on what the poundage is. But normally when I buy ground beef, it's like $6 to $10 a pound, I want to say. Maybe I'm misspeaking. I haven't been in a grocery store in the US in a while, so my perspective is skewed, but I know that these prices are wrong.
So my husband recently went to Costco to do our grocery shopping, and one of the things we get is Beyond Burgers. If you've seen some of my recipe videos, I like to use it for a bunch of meals like curry, lumpia, mapo tofu, and more. He sends me this picture and he's like, oh my God, the price was crazy. It's really going up. I zoom in and I'm like, babe, that's the price for the ground beef, not the Beyond Burgers. So he checks the receipt and he's like, oh yeah, it was $16. And I was really curious, so I did some math. So the ground beef, which is the 5 1-pound chunks of ground beef, is $34.99. We'll round it up to $35. The Beyond Burger is $16 and it comes with 10 quarter-pound patties. Altogether, this is 2.5 pounds. So 2 of these would equal 5 pounds and it would be around $32, $33. So it would actually be cheaper than the ground beef, like by a few dollars. And it's 20 grams of protein per serving, so you're still getting a good amount of protein. And of course, 75% less saturated fat, no added hormones or antibiotics, no soy, gluten, or cholesterol. And to be clear, I'm not saying that this is going to be the case for every single Costco. But considering that this is Costco in Hawaii, one of the most expensive states to live in, where over 90% of our goods are imported, the fact that vegan meat at Costco is more affordable than real meat. Interesting. Just want to put that information out there.
Box of cereal costs $6. Look at this, $6 for a box of cereal.
$6 for something that has zero nutritional value. Lower cholesterol. Does it actually lower cholesterol?
$7 for 10 slices of cheese? I need to get the f out of the US.
$75 for 3 steaks. Do you think that's ridiculous? Last week I was here, it was $70 for 3 steaks. Now it's $75.
$5.99 for a regular sized bag of Doritos. Are you free?
Yeah, $5.99 is crazy, but I guess you get a savings of $1, so now it's just $5. So being here in Albania, the price of Doritos is still cheaper than whatever that is. I think I pay 250 lek, which is roughly $3.20. I'll put the actual conversion on the screen, which is like half the price of what they're what they're selling in America, so makes no sense to me.
Look, I know I'm a frugal fuck, but when the fuck did cereal start costing $9 months?
Look. $10. $10 for a 12-pack of soda.
And it's probably, so do you have to, okay, is it saying like you get 3 and then it should be, each one would cost $7? I think that's what the deal says here. Otherwise it's $10 for a 12-pack of soda. And Pib, please.
$9.29 for 6 candy bars? Are you out of your mind?
Oscar Mayer is $8.29.
I'm sorry, but isn't bologna also made from like the worst cuts of the meat? So why is it $8.29?
Ain't no fucking way for a 50-cent honey bun. They want $2.29.
How are children, I mean, maybe it's good again, you know, get rid of the sweet tooth for children. So, right, people can't even buy their kids, get them hooked on the sweets anymore, because when my dad would give me $5 to go to the gas station, honey, I was coming out with all sorts of snacks, all sorts of candy bars, a drink, chips, all sorts of stuff to, you know, get on a sugar high. These kids can barely buy 2 honey buns. It might be a good thing, but what a sad experience. $5 is, is $10 the new $5? I would say $20 is the new $5 at this point.
Groceries have gotten so expensive. I now keep a list of all the things that I refuse to buy. Not can't buy. I just will not buy. Beef, Oh, that's off the list. I don't buy that at all anymore. Unless the cow is going to personally come in here and pay my mortgage, I'm not buying that. Potato chip? Absolutely not. Half a bag of air and vibes for $5, $6, $7, $8 sometimes? Nope, that's not gonna happen. Fruit? Oh, only if it's on sale. Cause blueberries be acting like luxury items now. You got a 401k or something? Candy? Oh, I don't buy that. Honestly, you can make candy at home, and I don't know about y'all, I like real chocolate. I don't like that fake chocolate. To be honest, in general, if snacks are not on sale, I'm not buying snacks because they just cost too much. Name brand? Oh, no, I don't need name brands. Generics are just fine. If that says, cornstarch on the box, it does not have to be name brand cornstarch. It all does the same thing. And things like juice and orange juice, oh, I only buy that on special occasions. Because a gallon of juice costs like what a utility bill does. See, at this point, I figure I'm not grocery shopping. I'm really negotiating. So tell me, what have you stopped buying because the prices have just gotten way too disrespectful?
$11.99, $11.49. $48.47 at Sam's Club for 4 steaks.
But I mean, $31.99 for coffee?
$32 for McCafe coffee. You might as well just get Folgers at that point. You might as well just fly to Colombia, harvest your own coffee beans, go through the whole rigmarole that is intense, okay, for coffee harvesting, and come back to the States with your own coffee at that point. Because $32, who are you? Okay, so this is for the pet parents out there, for the dog moms. $37.98 back in 2020. Now for that big old thing of dog food, $62.48 in 2026. That is diabolical.
I was shopping at the Whole Foods in the Pearl District recently and noticed something new on the shelves. Digital price tags that display the price of everything from dried fruit to sparkling water. These small electronic placards replace paper price tags and allow stores to change the price of items within seconds. That has stewed worries that retailers will start increasing prices based on demand, otherwise known as dynamic pricing. The Whole Foods in the Pearl District started rolling out these new price tags in mid-April. The retailer says it's not using them for dynamic pricing. Rather, the new price tags will help ensure that the price on the shelf matches the price that customers pay at the register, as well as save paper.
They're always bringing saving the environment into it. So they say that now, again, they're gonna roll it out, be like, oh, we're saving paper. We want, the completeness and accuracy of the cost that you see on the shelf versus what is rung up at the cash register. Do we believe that? Do we really believe that? Now, maybe I'm a little bit jaded, but I have no trust. Zero.
Whoever said it's cheaper to cook at home lied.
Since when are backpacks almost $200?
Our backpacks actually $169.99. I feel like they used to be like $50 or less. Now maybe that's a nicer backpack. What is that, like the Swiss brand? Either way, should it really be $170? Seems a bit unreasonable to me.
This, a couple of weeks ago, we had it on for 75 cents for a 2-pound bag of onions. We just got a shipment in. We had to raise it to $1.
Food Fair owner Munther Zaid says shippers and suppliers are adding fuel surcharges, forcing him to pass those costs on. The fuel crisis from the Middle East war is driving food prices higher, starting with imported produce and some meat and dairy. And shoppers in rural and remote communities will feel the squeeze even more.
We should anticipate that there's going to be an increase in food inflation in the months ahead. You just have to be transparent and honest about that. There's just no magic bullet that can erase that from happening.
Though experts say with Canada's growing season around the corner, buying local seasonal produce could provide a buffer for grocery budget.
No, seriously, are they joking?
Oh my God, even in Australia, you guys, what is this? $100? For dates?
Bro, I know they lying. $6 for 6 strawberries and some whipped cream.
Can we get into this right quick? When in the world did candy bars end up being $1.99?
$9.49 for Raisin Bran or $9.99 the regular price.
I'm very confused by cereal being $6, $10 in some cases. Does cereal ever satisfy you? My mom would feed me cereal. I hated it. She would feed me like the bran or whatever. That is the worst cereal of all time to feed a child, okay?
Oh my God, look at these prices.
$3.99 for a little small tub of cream cheese. That's the deal. That's the lowest price. You want a watermelon? It's only $8. Check out the bacon. Okay, so the lowest price was $5.99 and it went up to $12.99 for a pound of bacon. French fries, $5.99, $3.99, $6.49. Everyone's favorite, ice cream, $6.99. Look at that thrifty ice cream. There's nothing thrifty about $6.49. How about some Ben & Jerry's for $4.99? Remember how cheap Pringles used to be? It's just off the charts. Everything. Look at this, pizza. I'm not showing you the greatest.
Everything is off the charts. Everything that we have seen so far. Why are they scamming us like this? They think we are made of money. That's all they see is probably a dollar figure of the average grocery store buyer, right? Is how much they typically buy in a month or a year. Okay. The only way that can really combat this, and I know we saw a Doritos example being sky high, but Doritos has been in the news lately for coming down on their prices because no one's buying it anymore. No one can afford to buy it. Even if you are a Doritos lover, why would you pay $6, $7 for a tiny little bag when you could go buy a billion other different types of chips that probably taste better, might be a little bit better for you, or you could just stop eating it, right? So what do you think? Are you shocked by the grocery store prices? I know I am. Just being out of the States for 6-7 months here, I am utterly in shock by how expensive everything is, and I'm pretty upset about it. The only way that it's going to change is if we take action and not buy these products that are going up, 50 cents, $1, $2, $5 more than they normally would. Some have even doubled since not even 10 years ago. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like the video if you like it, dislike it if you dislike it, and I'll see you in the next one. I think you'll be shocked by this video on dynamic pricing.